There's a bass player in DC that I perform with a good bit named Pepe Gonzalez, and his stories make up a large chunk of my body of work. So I'm gonna read a few poems about his mentors. And the first one is about a piano player named, hold on, now I gotta find the poem, damn! Lawrence Wheatley. So this is called 3 Lessons Lawrence Wheatley Dropped on Spanish Joe. The Lawrence Wheatley Stare. Eyes behind sunglasses shouldn't intimidate, except they do, especially when attached to fingers that stroke a beard in a dark club, then bang out the history of the piano. Lawrence Wheatley on his out-of-tune piano. My fingers may play an out-of-tune piano, but my ears always hear the perfect note, not the notes you hear coming from an out-of-tune piano. Lawrence Wheatley on recording. Why should I? Come hear me play. I am sure to play something you'll remember. Another brother he used to talk about a lot was a guy named Salome. And Salome was a Cuban bass player. And when bass players would come into the city, they would go to him and borrow his bass. All right? So this is things Spanish Joe learned from Salome about playing bass. Clave. You don't need to play the clave. You need to hear it. You need to feel how it fits. Tumbao. A tumbao needs to be carried like the scent of tobacco and cologne on a sharply ironed guayabera. Baile. When you play it loose, you will move bottoms out of chairs. Make them sway. Suéltate y tócalo así. All right, so here we go. How many of you know anything about the evil eye? Yeah, y'all got protections? All right, make sure, because you know there's always somebody trying to get something on you. So this piece is called Evil Eye, Mal de Ojo. There's always someone watching, waiting to bring something down on you. Always someone whose eye invades the balance between spirit and body. Someone who will compliment a child and forget to offer up a blessing. Protection against petty spirits who want to prove that nothing is more beautiful than them. And always someone to block the path that evil winds down. Maybe a mother who knows the power of crucifixes, el divino niño, and an egg touched to a body dressed only in its skin. Curandera who understands the rezos, los siete jarabe, Florida water, sage, and tobacco. And practices the rituals that drive fever from the body, pushing it to find its way into a glass of water placed under the bed or on a nightstand where it can no longer heat flesh into discomfort. There's always the non-believer who does not understand the medicine of an ender's memory and its connection to ancestors who add their breath to the smoke blown from the lips of descendants who have learned how healing is passed down. So Pepe also tells stories about his mama, who was a little woman about that big, right? But has superpowers, right? She was like strong. So this one is called Ana la Gallega y Pancho el Pistolero. Spanish Joe remembers his mother, remembers how light floods a room, remembers power and the smallest, biggest person on the planet. When Pancho pulls a gun, he means to use it. And the man kneeling on the ground understands the purpose of the barrel pointed at his temple. Anna believes in everyone. So a cold pistol in the hands of a man with murder on his mind is a tiny obstacle. She calls Pancho hijito, though he is not her son, knowing this will pull finger away from trigger. She pushes her hand out, palm up, and waits. Her voice, a verse, biblical in its delivery. Request life with a quiet, déjalo. Let him be. No trigger pulled, no barrel heated, no bullet delivered, gun released. When Spanish Joe remembers his mother, he remembers a man no longer kneeling and still breathing who greets him with, que Dios bendiga a la madre que te parió. God bless the woman who birthed you. And I think y'all are ready, right? All right, so yo, you ready? All right, you coming up? Thank you.